I know it means a lot to Michael and Elizabeth to have you all here as their friends and family. So I want to first and foremost thank all of you for being a part of their lives. If you don't know who I am, I'm John Mendez, the brother of the groom and the best man for the day. I grew up with Mike and I've known him for about 30 years now. As Mike's brother, I have to say it was awesome growing up with you and seeing you grow into the man that we see here today. If you're from the groom side, you should be very proud of Mike for who he's become. If you're from the bride side, you should be so not worried about Mike. I promise you, he's a great guy. Before I go on about Michael, I just wanted to formally thank anyone who made this day possible. First, I want to thank God for bringing these two together and also for this amazing day to celebrate. I want to thank my mom for a great dinner last night and also for everything that she did in raising two fantastic sons. We love you, Mom. Liz's parents, thank you so much for giving us Liz as a part of our family and for this amazing reception today. Let's give them a hand for that. Groomsmen, you all look top-notch. Unfortunately, most of you are already married. However, there is one groomsman in the house who is in fact single and looking to mingle. His name is Jeff. And his phone number is 203-505-1970. Jeff was a little nervous about what I was going to say because he knew his name appeared somewhere in the script. But bridesmaids, you also look amazing, especially the cute pregnant one right here. Call me. Before you get too uncomfortable, it's my wife. Liz, you're a beautiful bride, and I have to say you're the perfect height to marry my brother and to be a part of the strong side of the family. No offense to the Mendez side. Mike, I guess tuxes aren't for everyone. Was that too low? I'm sorry. I apologize. You look great, and white brings out the color in your eyes. All right, now that you all feel loved and cherished, let's talk about Mike. Yes. Mike, from the day I was born, I always looked up to you. You may not have realized it, but I always wanted to follow your example. It started when I was less than a year old and I was walking around in my little baby walker. You decided to go downstairs to get a snack. I decided, oh, that seems fun, I can do that too. So I followed you down the stairs and fell an entire flight and landed on my head. To this day, I struggle with what doctors call ADHD. And Mike, I blame you. I'm just kidding. What was I saying? No matter what you did, I always wanted to compete with you. I remember one time we were at Grandma's house, and we decided we were gonna house an entire cantaloupe. So I saw you eat the first half of the cantaloupe, and I said, oh, I want to be like my brother, I think that I can do that too. So I ate the other half of the melon. And later that night, in the middle of the night, I realized that melon can have quite the effect on one's bladder. I had wet the bed, which I hadn't done since I was at least in the 5th grade. So I went to Mom and I told her what had happened. And she said, oh, that's okay, honey. Your brother did the same thing about an hour ago. Mike, I always competed with you, but I couldn't even beat you at peeing myself in my sleep. So it went like this for a while. I followed in Mike's footsteps until one day, something occurred to me that would change my life forever. This brother that I looked up to, that I always wanted to be like, was in fact a huge nerd. I mean, I consider myself a pretty smart guy, but no matter what I do, there's never anything I can do to be that nerdy. In elementary school, to win prizes, he would read lots and lots of books for credit from the teachers. So to compete with him, I would sit by a tree during recess and read lots and lots of illustrated classics. So I only had to read half the pages. In addition to that, My brother would build all of these model airplanes growing up. It was kind of one of his biggest hobbies. So he glued together thousands and thousands of these tiny little pieces that he would glue together with actual glue. So to try to compete with you, I had Mom get me a couple of snap-together model cars with a couple pieces that I would just snap together and then put a little sticker on the side instead of paint, and then I would go ride bikes while you were still building the rest. Mike, you were always into electronics, and he built circuit boards for fun people. That's a little bit much. There's one time I remember he rewired a smoke detector with 2 batteries so there would never be a lapse in smoke detection. So if you guys don't understand how that works, I'm sure later he'd be willing to draw a schematic on a cocktail napkin for you. Mike, one thing that I always appreciated about you was your engineer's mind and the fact that you were fascinated with how things worked. You remind me of Dad in this way, and I feel like a lot of who you are came from him. And I know that he would be so proud of you if you were here today. Mike, I had a great time growing up with you. You were the best brother I could have asked for. Your intelligence and your desire to not settle for a mediocre or meaningless life is an inspiration to everyone, including me. And I have to say that you've leveraged your nerdiness quite nicely. Liz, I want you to know that you married a great guy. My brother is someone who truly cares more about you than he does about himself. Sure, he is always right, but there is no doubt in my mind that he will make a great husband and a caring father one day. Liz, you're an amazing woman, and I'm glad to have you as my sister. The fact that you can sit around a Mendez dinner table, listen to all of the corny jokes, all of the puns, and make it out alive shows me that you know what you're getting into and you're here to stay. So I wanted to say to you, welcome to the adventure. Mike and Liz, you found each other because God brought you together. And as a married couple, you're stronger now than you would have been apart. So I want to encourage you to embrace your marriage for all that it is. There will be good and bad times and ups and downs, but the beauty of it is that from now on, you're in this together. Always remember to put God first in your marriage and to serve each other, even if you don't feel like it from time to time. Now that you're married, you will face challenges you never faced before, but as you live life together, you will grow to be the man and woman of God that you were destined to be. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in raising a glass to Michael and Elizabeth.
Cheers.
May God continue to bless your marriage, and may you be a blessing to others. Hear, hear.